There's one category of places that's called disturbed places. Disturbed means some big thing happened and the whole whatever was there was completely kind of turned topsy-turvy. For example, this patch, it would have originally been some kind of some cashew or some one of those type of commercial plants. It is the little upper part of that valley number 1, and then there it had agriculture had stopped because of real estate and all, and then some nature had come back. Some grasslands had developed here, and then what happened? The somebody set fire to this little patch. There was about a lot of shrubs over there, and then interspaced with grasses. And then after the fire, what happens? Here this patch has escaped the fire. So it used to be like this earlier. That is one type of disturbed places. This is already, once first disturbance happened, then the recovery phase, all these plants came. Some pioneer species. Then this area got fired. So after the fire, only this small remnant somehow it remained. Otherwise, all this area, fire has disturbed it. Now, a place that gets disturbed by fire after the rains come, the profile of the species that reappear in that after the disturbance, it changes. It gives a lot of information, and you can learn many things by observing this kind of place. Like for example, some species are fireproof. Fireproof means they don't die off completely, they come back. They are designed to live in places where some little firing and all happens. Some summer fire or something. And then, so those species, their numbers will increase, and then invasive species also get a chance to come and occupy that space. Now here, by observing what all species are there, we can get a clear picture about the potential of a species to deal with fire. One is this Caraya arborea has survived well. Then that sacred Ixora, it's there in plenty, quite a few have survived. And then seems to have got some parasite on it. No, I think it's dead number 2. So this is one species, and certain grasses can come back. Some of the grasses and some of the native plants, they are all designed for this kind of situation. This is that, I think it's called Hemides Swiss, sarsaparilla. It's an important Ayurvedic herb, and it has aromatic roots. So this one is, has all of the whole population has come back, because these plants which can survive this fire and all, their life is in the root. So some small fire comes and burns off that undergrowth. Then that root contains the life. So as soon as the rains come, from the root the new life will spring up. This is that sacred Ixora. The whole everything has got burnt here. It was a nice big shrub. So then now rains came. The life, even though the upper part got burnt by fire, that life of the plant is in the root. So it was still alive, and when the rains come, it was revived. Though in a much compromised condition compared to how it was earlier. By looking at these twigs, we can make out that it was about some 2 to 3 feet tall plant. The whole thing has got burnt, and then some 2-inch little stems have come from the base, some 5 or 6 of them. like this. So here the root is, it has thick juicy roots which can withstand the fire and survive after the fire till the monsoon, and then from here little shoots start coming up and slowly it will recover. So if in your area if there is a fire, you have to go and look at what other plants have surfaced back, who all died out and all that. And one of the interesting thing I discovered today is that this Habenaria diphyllum, it's one of the small Habenaria, that one seems to have come back in without any disturbance. It has a small garlic type of root, it seems, this Habenaria diphylla. And go that side. Go. So dogs are not at all allowing me to work. Don't disturb my flow. Let me finish. So this Habenaria diphylla, it's one of our native, very beautiful endemic orchid that lives on these grassy meadows where there is not much undergrowth and all. So this Habenaria diphylla has survived. Either it is a old plant that was already there and it survived, which is what it seems to me, or it has a property of a pioneer species where it can come back and occupy a disturbed place. Some couple of some 50 or 200 plants are there here in this fired place, along with this Mimosa pudica and one of this spermacoque, some half a dozen types of grasses. Then antidesma also survives well after fire. And apart from that, this Curcuma karnatakensis also has withstood the fire, old plant. So in this kind of fired places, two types of new activity can happen. One is the pioneer species land up, which are capable of occupying a disturbed place. And then second, those which can withstand the fire and wait for the next monsoon and then resurface. So these are the two categories that come back. And after the fire, the invasive plants in this particular patch seems to be this Habenaria diphylla. That was a surprising discovery for me. I didn't know that they can withstand a fire. Then apart from that, some Crotalaria, then that not too many species, some half a dozen species, that's Sacred Ixora, Crotalaria, one Antidesma gaisambilla, and then the most shocking thing for me was that this Habenaria has survived here and come back in good numbers also.